Oh,
Dele, Geshe-la.
Dale.
So wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Geshe, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Uh,
Geshe-la. Geshe-la is in America.
yes, I'm in New Mexico.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
Geshe-la is
uh,
teaching in New Mexico?
yes, I'm in the Tibetan Ruling
Ah,
Center.
yes. Wonderful.
Yes.
They are
Whenever
very
yourself
lucky.
in Dharamsala or
I'm in
overseas?
Tushita,
Oh, okay. Oh, yes,
Geshe-la,
wonderful.
we just finished the first teaching of Phuntsok Rinpoche just now.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hope
Yes,
you all had a
and
meaningful
while
time.
and while Rinpoche was teaching, there was a hailstorm, and we came out, and it
Oh,
was full, like it looked like snow, like this.
oh, really?
And then Lama Rinksel, when he arrived, he kept saying snow, 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 but we didn't have any snow, so he was very disappointed. So then, when we went up, Rinksel
Oh,
Rinpoche played in the snow. It was very exciting.
thank you, thank you, thank you,
That
thank
was
you.
very
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Thank you for everything. Thank you.
Geshe-la, may I introduce Geshe-la first? Is that
Yeah.
okay,
Uh,
Geshe-la?
yes, briefly.
Briefly. Oh, Geshe-la.
Yeah, I'm Tenzin Zopa here. Okay.
Welcome to the Days of Miracles to everybody. We are on day 11, I believe. We are moving along very fast. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, wherever you are. I think in Geshe-la's time zone in the Americas is still the morning. Europe is afternoon, and here in India it's 9 o'clock. So welcome. And today's teacher is Geshe Tenzin Zopa, and we are so very honored, Geshe-la. Thank you so much for joining us. So those of you who don't know Geshe-la, I think everybody does, but those of you who don't, so Geshe-la was born in Zoom in Nepal and then entered Kopan Monastery, I think when Geshe-la was 12 years old, became a
And
monk, and then entered Sarah Monastery when Geshe-la was 18 years old, and there finished his Geshe degree. Yeah, a very high esteemed degree, something like 2 or 3 PhDs, I would guess. And then, isn't it, Geshe? And then taught around the world tirelessly, serving the FPMT in so many functions. Geshe-la was the resident teacher in Malaysia, and Geshe-la was also the closest disciple of the late Geshe Lama Konchok, who was a great master. Siddhi spent 26 years. Yes, in retreat. Yes, very inspiring. And we have Geshe Lama Konchok's reincarnation right here at Tushita today, which I think is not a coincidence. I am very convinced that Geshe Zopala, with his clairvoyance, saw that coming and put his talk at 9, so that we could have, Phuntsok Rinpoche at 7 o'clock. We are very,
Mhm.
very thrilled. This was an amazing day to have the unmistaken child. There was a movie made, as most of you know, because we screened it for the last few days, The Unmistaken Child. So The Unmistaken Child is right here at Tushita right now, and it was snowing during his first teaching here. It was very, very auspicious. And Lama Phuntsok became Gelong today, a fully ordained monk. Very auspicious occasion, together with Rinzin Rinpoche and 12 or 13 Kopan monks. It was very wonderful. It's very wonderful to have them all here. I think Lama Zopa Rinpoche is sending us many, many blessings in that way. So, because this is such an important time right now, can I just offer a very short mandala? Geshe-la, please.
I think it's okay. Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
Geshe-la.
We all do mandala to the long life of His Holiness Dalai Lama, then Phuntsok Rinpoche, Rinzin Rinpoche, and all the other amazing treasure of Dharma in the world, uh, for their long life, good health, and fulfillment of all their holy wishes. We also make this mandala offering as a requesting mandala for our most precious Guru Geshe Lama Suparinpoche to fulfill all his holy wishes and his unmistaken reincarnation, swiftly actualized among us, and Rinpoche to continue to carry on his enlightened legacies for the preservation of the Buddha Dharma in all directions, and liberating, numberless sentient beings up to enlightenment, like us and all the other sentient beings up to enlightenment. So for that, we all come together to offer this mandala offering. O za ye be ye jo ye men do dhamma re rabba le ye nye de ye ma de zang ye yin do mi de be wa ye du ge nam da xin la je ba da ye lu nga ye so lo je de su ma ja zo je ren je men da zang bo ko za so jo ba lo ye la ne la ma ye dam kun jo so la Tuje wanye jinye dala jinye daye jada mozo jebe yu tanye bazo le da boju amba me ba beye le jo ne dozo ra san ro wa jinye. So offer outer mandala offering, all the entire, you visualize either your palm as a mandala base, or either visualize that venerable Kunpan that holding that mandala object as a universe, an entire existence, like such as the four continents, the Mount Meru, sun and moon, and entire even including without lifting even one atom out, visualize them as wish fulfilling jewels, and also offer the inner mandala, your own aggregates, entire aggregates, your body, your limbs, organs, everything offer. Then yourself and rest of the sentient being offer as a service, as an attendant to all the gurus or the Buddhas of the three times, and also offer the secret mandala. Before that, when you offer the inner mandala, then offer the body, speech, and mind of those of whom that so-called as a loved one, and also those of the body, speech, and mind of those of the strangers, and body, speech, and mind of those of so-called inconvenient people and beings to us, like those to whom we may have aversion. And then that bring the impact of purifying the three poisons, attachment, aversion, ignorance within us and within them, and everyone, self and all others, able to actualize, virtuous living, and then develop the path and actualize enlightenment without delaying. Then, then offer the secret offering, oneself those of you who have initiation, especially high school tantric initiation, then instantly, from the void of lack of true existence and arise as a deity, or at least just understand that my ultimate being is oneness with the deities, gurus. Then through that acknowledgement, or through that knowing, through that wisdom and drive, the genuine sense of bliss, the bliss that enjoy when you obtain the state of Dharmakaya, the union of bliss and void. Then that offer as a mandala offering, to the object, to the merit field. Then also offer the mandala of suchness, and understand the self, the mandala, the merit, all the impact that bring out of mandala, this offering practice. Understand as a lack of inherent existence, emptiness. Ye Dhamma Guru Rana Mandala Kamniya Daya. Tujie, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Geshe-la, this is a question and answer today.
Yes.
So, Geshe-la, the Days of Miracles this year are dedicated for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. So the first question for Geshe-la is, of course, there are many students of Rinpoche here attending this program, this session, and some are really still quite in shock. Some are quite distraught. Some go like, well, I haven't seen Rinpoche for 10 years in bodily form. Anyway, I just continue how I continued. So there's many different reactions, but many students feel acute loss of having lost Rinpoche. And although we know that the Guru is in our heart, it is helpful to have a body we can relate to and we can ask for advice and who is inspiring us. Could Geshe-la please give us some advice how to continue and how to think skillfully? Geshe-la.
Yeah. I mean, to any students and disciples of Rinpoche, when Rinpoche manifest, dissolving his holy body, showing the deeds of passing to parinirvana. That's for ordinary students like us. Of course, there's no greater devastating than that. Like myself, very much immature student. The paths are not developed, and the distractions are, unbelievable out there. So this untamed samsaric mind in samsaric environment, without very firm, vivid, inspirational guide or inspirational reliance is not there. It is very much like you are lost in the directionless desert. So it's very much like that. or get lost in the middle of very thick, massive jungle. Don't know where to get out and where to exit, where to come out. So there's no greater tragedy than that for us to experience when when we have to go through the losing the physical embodiment of the guru for immature student like me, and there may be some out there like similar like me. But then again, all the past gurus and those of all the Buddha's emanation, all the the physical aspect of the Dharmakaya's emanation, like such as even the historical Buddha, who came into this world to display the deeds, the 12 deeds of the Buddha. The Gautama Siddhartha, when he was in this world, he's not an ordinary person. He's enlightened being. He have already achieved the Vajra body, immortal life. But then it's still, in order to unchain the permanent grasping, which is the base, or which is one of the most difficult grasping to unchain, from our continuum, most difficult delusion to overcome, the permanent grasping in our the permanent grasping, especially towards the body, the life, then the environment that are around us, that very much serve as a foundation to all the rest of the grasping that we often talk about, the grasping of attachment, grasping of aversion, grasping of ignorance, ego, pride, and all the other rest of the delusions, and the grasping of dualistic existence, grasping of true existence, grasping of substantial existence, inherent existence, very much develop on the basis of this permanent grasping. So, which is so hard to understand. Even though in our day-to-day life, the gross level of impermanent, it occurs to us, we also do understand, but the subtle level of impermanent is so hard to understand. We may be trying to understand what it means lack of inherent existence, what it means lack of dualistic existence. But then again, even that, most of the time, we very much have the conversation or analytical observation while holding permanent grasping. So due to that, so difficult to get away from the distractions of delusion. So as long as we don't get away from the distraction of delusion, then the abundance of the the karmas are committed, which are the causes for samsara, to experience samsara endlessly. So, so due to that, and in order to, the disciples to overcome this grasping, including the permanent grasping in relation to gurus physical existence. When we think carefully, sometimes the so-called devotion to the guru, if not careful, there's a danger of the devotion may be attachment kind of grasping, or devotion, in the name of devotion, but very much, very much self-concerned purpose. It's not much about really understanding the real meaning, the real purpose of guru existing in our life, but very much is to kind of to take care of our self-centered purposes, or even worldly purposes, then on top of that, whatever teaching the guru teach, whether the teaching on emptiness, teaching on bodhicitta, teaching on tantra, it's very much like kind of like showering from outside, like very much like when we take a shower, the water doesn't clean inside, water clean from outside, the outside dirt. So the teaching very much kind of like, make us feel very, very wonderful, very comfortable, very, like inspiring, feel happy, very much I feel taken care. And the moment the physical existence of guru is like no more, even like guru leave from your place and go somewhere else, other part of the world, our normal samsara is completely overwhelmed again. That inspiration, that that cleansing that you have felt, when the guru's physical existence with you or while receiving teaching is very much like kind of come to full stop, and we come back to our our real person, which is very samsaric one. And and also, very much like remain too dependent outwardly, too dependent on others, of your liberation, your enlightenment. Never really, come to like taking self-responsibility of your own enlightenment, your own developmental path. Taking care of our mind very much like has to depend externally. When the external inspiration is there, then your mind is taken care. But when the external inspiration, like the gurus, physical existence, or gurus, like continue hearing of his word, his teaching, our mind, goes back to, under the influence or under the guidance of delusion. So in order to break that shield or break that barrier, in order for us to arrive to the real sense of spirituality, real sense of independence on our path, able to, reach to a, arrive to a self-governing, self-leading, or oneself able to become one's own guru, oneself able to become one's own guide, and to really to able to drive, deep within, and able to, really see the path within, and also the destination of the path, the liberation or the transformation, or enlightenment, is very much, is to discover that, discover within. The guru has to, guru, like in similar like in all the past gurus, including historical Buddha, all the fortunate Buddhas of the past show the deeds of passing into parinirvana. So in Tibetan, very nicely, few words very nicely said. Duja Tangzin Chen, Cholo Guru. So Duja Tangzin Chen, the disciple that who carries this, the permanent grasping, in order to free the disciple who are completely chained with the permanent grasping, then the guru manifests into passing into parinirvana. So that's the main reason. So it is one of most profound teaching to all the gurus, who carry the physical form, to show these deeds. So from that point of view, then if not this time, then when to actualize the inner guru? Even after showing the most extended, the teaching, using, the guru's, the nirmanakaya form of the body, the dissolving. Even after showing this teaching, if we are unable to understand the root issue, the root obstacle to our path, the permanent grasping, and to actualize, certain degree of realization on impermanent wisdom, then when, if not now, to actualize the inner guru, take the full responsibility by yourself of your future, your liberation, your enlightenment. If not now, then when? If not this time, understood the teaching and actualized the path that which really, cut the chain of, samsara, then when will we able to do that again? We have to come to that understanding, when the guru shows passing into parinirvana. If not now, really, come to a full stop to committing negative karma, through this profound teaching. And when will there be a time that we will have an understanding or courage, or really corner you to make that firm commitment to full stop to committing negative karma? And if not now, to dedicate, wholly, fully, completely of rest of one's own existence, one's own life, in accumulating virtues, accumulating dharma, actualizing the path, developing wisdom of emptiness, developing attitude of altruism. If this teaching of the Guru didn't make us understand, then when will we be able to make us understand? There's no other time. Meaning our samsara not going to end. If this teaching didn't make us understand, if this teaching didn't make us genuinely renounce samsara, genuinely renounce the karma, genuinely renounce all the limitation that we experience in samsara, including the limitation that we have to lose the opportunity to have a physical existence of our precious Guru among us. And if this time, if we don't make ourselves equipped with all the tools to completely be oneness with the Guru, completely be inseparable from the Guru, not just the Dharmakaya state, but also the whole body, speech, and mind, whole manifestations of the Guru. Wherever Guru's manifestation there, you are there. If we are not able to make possible of actualizing all the causes to arrive that period, to arrive that that purpose, then when we were going to do. In fact, showing Guru's deeds of showing the parinirvana is for us to realize all this. What I'm talking about. Even when the historical Buddha, when during his lifetime, of course, there are many disciples, who achieve arahatship, who actualize the path, but especially when he showed the deeds of the passing to parinirvana, there, many disciples, they have actualized their path, arahatship, enlightenment. You see, in fact, even on the very first time that Buddha turned the wheel of Dharma, historically, the Four Noble Truths, instantly, the five disciples within some of the disciples right there, the moment Buddha started to reveal the teaching, achieve arahatship, and the rest of the remaining, like one after another. Not like after they receive the teaching, then they have to remain in retreat and they actualize the path. One of the main the teaching that impact for them to release the bondage of their limitation, or bondage of karma, samsara, delusion, is the teaching on impermanent. Buddha's first teaching. Buddha's first teaching is impermanent. When he taught the Four Noble Truths, the 16 aspect of the Four Noble Truths. First emphasis is on in relation teaching on impermanent. Because of that, and his last teaching is on impermanent when he showed the passing to parinirvana. You see, then there's no teaching throughout his lifetime, or there's no teaching in 84,000 teaching that Buddha have taught. Has no element of the teaching on impermanent. The very foundation of the teaching of all is impermanent. Because of the having the wisdom of impermanent, then the understanding, making sense of the interdependent rising is possible, like cause and effect. If there's no impermanent nature, there's no possible of cause and effect. The meaning of interdependent rising, the very, very initial one, very gross one, is the interdependent relation of cause and effect. In order to establish the interdependent rising of cause and effect, the element has to be impermanent. So like that. So even in our day-to-day life, we go through emotional difficulties. When we need to separate from our loved ones. Why? Because of permanent grasping. That attachment of not wanting to be separated is very much coated or very much foundation by permanent grasping. You see, and also why we get upset when someone disturbs you, why we have this aversion mind, is also permanent grasping. We have this permanent idea of I shouldn't be harmed by anybody. I shouldn't be disturbed by anybody. And that has to be permanent, not even for one single moment, that I cannot receive any inconvenience, and we have this idea that, it is like that forever, but in reality, it's not true. And then whenever something goes wrong, we get upset. And that's very much because of your permanent grasping was disturbed, But if we already equip the wisdom of impermanent in relation to loved one, in relation to whoever you see, strangers, whoever you feel they are quite naughty, then whatever behavior that relate to us, we won't have any grasping that expressing into excessive attachment, excessive aversion, like that. You see. So the one of the main reason why we cannot develop genuine sense of love, compassion, bodhicitta, is because of permanent grasping. Permanent grasping, excessive attachment to the loved one, excessive aversion to the enemy, excessive, ignorance to the neutral one. That's why there's no room for genuine compassion. There's no room for genuine love and altruism, And the similar goes to wisdom, why we cannot realize, the wisdom of empty of selfless, because we have this permanent grasping of, true existing kind of concrete, ever wonderful me, isn't it? So because of that, so therefore, yeah. So maybe the answer become too long. The essence is, like Gyabje Lama Sopa Rinpoche, he, of course, Rinpoche, who is, without any doubt, is enlightened person. Without any doubt that he has control over his life. It's his decision. Such a holy being is not because of just my faith, really knowing, even briefly. Of course, it's impossible for us to know everything, because he's an enlightened being, how ordinary person ever to know everything about enlightenment, isn't it? Enlightened being. So in order to know clearly everything about enlightened being, you have to be enlightened. You need to have omniscience. But from even a very little observation, throughout our lifetime, maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of time, or even for someone that just first time, knowing him or seeing him, the one thing that is definite is that you will see, you really see living Buddha, living Bodhisattva. When we learn about the Bodhisattva's way of life, if Geshe Lama Zopa Rinpoche's way of life is not the Bodhisattva's way of life, and then where is the most obvious example that you can show? The Arya Bodhisattva's life. So okay, if it's difficult to relate to a enlightened one, but then at least relate to a Arya Bodhisattva's life. So when someone is Arya being, they are fully control over their life. Is how long they want to live, when they want to pass away, when they want to show healthy aspect of life, when they want to show like inconvenient aspect of life, good and bad, everything. Everything is under fully controlled under their own wisdom. So if Rinpoche have seen more beneficial to, or time is ripened to show this teaching to the disciple, to the world, and not only that, there may be so many other excuse me, there may be so many other beneficial reasons that Rinpoche wish to conclude his continuum on this life's body. But for us, for a student, one of the most important lesson is to actualize the dissolving of the Guru's physical body is the starting, or is the reason to actualize inner Guru, which is your own wisdom mind, which is your own Dharma attitudes, the Dharma attitudes, Dharma wisdom that Guru have taught us in lifetime, or the inspiration that Guru have shown, through way of his living to us. Now that is your wisdom, that is your attitude, and that's your Guru. And your compassion is Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and it is your inner Guru. Your bodhicitta is Geshe Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and it is your inner Guru. Your wisdom of impermanent, wisdom of lacking of dualistic existence, wisdom of selflessness, wisdom of the emptiness is Geshe Lama Zopa Rinpoche, is your wisdom. It is your inner Guru. So now the inspiration in the past shown by the Guru out there, now your wisdom, your attitude has to inspire you. Now whatever teaching that that you learn from Rinpoche, now all those teaching has to express within yourself. Whenever you need to receive teaching, you need to open, you need to attend the teaching in your heart, to your wisdom and to your attitude. Whenever you need to read a book, Dharma book, you open your heart, the Dharma book of your heart, the wisdom and attitude that you have learned, you get inspired, open that, and utilize that. You see, whenever you have questions, any questions, and from now on, try to ask Dharma questions instead of mundane questions. So now you ask the Dharma questions, questions about the path and grounds, and questions about your spiritual development, not to someone out there. Now should ask within our own continuum. Now, no need to go and ask, where am I in the stages of the path? Usually we go to ask Guru. We have this habit of asking Guru, where am I? I've been doing this retreat, I've been, learning this, practicing this, can you tell me, where am I? This is one of the common questions that we present to our Guru, you see, and that is actually not really right. It's not that helpful, honestly speaking, you know. But then for the very beginner, for the very initial level, yes, it is wonderful. But ultimately, we have to be able to answer to those questions by ourselves. You know, the main purpose of, in fact, relating to the guru is to receive as much as wisdom as possible, as much as, you know, the teaching dharma as possible, and that dharma has to become a like in a library. So whenever you have question, you know, not always open book, not always ask somebody out there, ask inside, you know, ask your own the intelligence that you develop, you know, through dharma learning. You see, so we have to come to that position, you know, and the behavior, you know, the way how we speak, the way how physically behave, the way how we manage the world, the manage ups and downs of life. You know, guru have shown for 60, 70 years of their life, you know, how to manage them. So now we try to copy that. You know, we try to you know, yeah, make our way of, you know, thinking, speaking, you know, yeah, everything, you know, as close as possible, as close as possible, how our guru does, how Gyaltsen Lama Sopa Rinpoche, you know, does, you see. And tried, you know, it's so obvious that what Rinpoche would think. Rinpoche always is completely overwhelmed with bodhicitta, you know, completely fill entire his mind with, I don't know whether overwhelming is a good word to use or not, but it's like his heart is completely filled with bodhicitta, you know, wisdom of emptiness. You know, there's not even one moment that he get away from, you know, the wisdom of emptiness. You know, whenever he opened his senses, his hearing, his seeing, his thinking, you know, it carry illusion-like, you know, wisdom of emptiness, you know, or dream-like, you know, wisdom of emptiness. Or space-like wisdom of emptiness, you know. Whenever he closes his eye, then for his eye consciousness, now everything, you know, everything, every picture that reflect, you know, what the eye have perceived, now everything able to see as a dream-like, space-like, you know. And whenever he sees, he hear things, he, you know, whenever heart, you know, the mind expresses, you know, there's an illusion-like kind of view. There's no grasping at all, you see. Then because of that, so he able to relate to everybody with so much compassion, so much love, so much gentleness, and all of us have experienced that. If you have you know, got a chance to spend, you know, even a few minutes with Rinpoche, or even not a private audience, but from far, when you're observing him, you know, you will see full of expression of compassion, full of expressions of love, you know, gentleness, peacefulness, you know, the positivity, unbelievable, you know. So even just think of him, you immediately have this complete, like, entire your room filled with that energy, you know. So we too try to, you know, initially maybe created one, but we have to, you know, imitate it. You know, I don't know whether this word is also correct or not. You know, you have to fake it, like to be like Rinpoche until you become. Until you become. You have to fake it, like, you know, the way how Rinpoche speak, the way how Rinpoche relate to other, you know, the how Rinpoche would think, in this situation, in that situation. When you meet difficult people, then immediately, your inner guru awake, your inner guru, inner guru awake. You immediately think, how would Rinpoche behave with this difficult person? How would Rinpoche will behave in this difficult situation? How would Rinpoche behave when this amazing, joyous moment, when we go to bed, how would Rinpoche would go to bed? If he happened to lie down on the bed, how, what would be his mind thinking? What would be his physical gesture? So you see, so these are the things that what you call I think Tsap is kind of like imprint that Rinpoche, we have to prove that Rinpoche have left an imprint on us. How to say? I think Nepali word or something, Tsap, stamp. All of us, we usually use the word blessing. Yeah. So it's very much like you Rinpoche leave a mark on us. Mark. See? So we need to prove, at least to ourselves, and also at least to the people day to day around us, that I have that blessing of Rinpoche. Otherwise, I mean, there's not much meaning that we feel sad, or lost, and some more especially, if we really feel lost, and we have to be even more determined to become like him. If you feel there's a sense of void, then we have to work even harder to reach to a point that we never become separated from him, like that, you see. So so that's the one thing. And another thing is, you see, Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, there's no interruption of the emanation, in us, around us. So our ordinary mind may not able to see the physical aspect of Rinpoche's existence around us, but Rinpoche, manifests into many different forms, and always come and take care of us. So that also we need to understand. Then, and of course, when, the living being, does not vanish, in one circle of life. Living being remain forever. The continuum of the person live forever. So therefore, the continuum of Rinpoche is like ever existent. And the condition that we need to create is for us to actualize that continuum into a human form, and someone who near to us, who will live among us, to whom we are able to directly able to communicate. So that's one of the main reasons why we need to accumulate merits, and why we need to make aspiration for Rinpoche's continuum to return into this human form, and also human form which carry all the characteristic that we've been practicing, we've been receiving, those inspiration from him to able to continue to guide us, So it's more of like ourselves have the meritorious condition to actualize that. But from Rinpoche's side, he's always there in many different forms, So that's one of another thing. So therefore, it is for us to rejoice in Rinpoche's life, then accumulate as much as merit as possible, and make an aspiration for his return. So like that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you so much. I wanted to open up for other questions. If any of you have a question, you can either unmute yourself or raise your hand. Vishat.
Hello, respected Geshe.
Hello.
Can I present a situation to you so that
Sure.
you could be, let us say, like we when we go to embassy for the visa purposes. Let us say you are the authority who has to provide a visa to me, and I am, and some other person is coming to get the visa from you for visiting some maybe Tushita. So I have a I have a situation that maybe I don't have the required documents, or I don't fulfill the eligibility criteria to get the visa, but I want to visit the Tushita, which is a genuine case. So naturally you won't offer me a visa, but then but you very well understand that my intentions are genuine, that but the thing is that I'm not fulfilling the criteria. Now there is a second person standing next to me who is also compelling you to offer me the visa because my intentions are genuine. So how will you handle this situation?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think the best way is, give all the correct informations to fulfill all the criteria. I think that's the way. That even though right this very moment that you don't have all the criteria to get the visa, without full criteria, I cannot give the visa for sure. And but then I still have the ability to offer the correct information, correct guidance, how to acquire all those necessary merits. Then that will lead you to just matter of time that you will obtain the visa. So and accordingly, if there may be few people who is asking the visa, and there may be different sort of requirements maybe needed, and accordingly you because someone else who know exactly what criteria is a requirement, so you would give the full advice, full guidance. So I think similar way to Dharma students, of course everybody want to arrive to Tushita.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, I have a problem here. Like in normal day-to-day life, we generally want to uh, be compassionate with other people, but some people like are not able to fulfill certain conditions so that we could fully be compassionate to those people, or we could fulfill their demands. But on top of that, other people are compelling us, no, you have to do this, or some higher authorities are compelling you, no, you have to do this thing. So where will be the compassion thing?
I
That will
see.
disappear.
So I think it very much depends from your point of view. If you are the one that who supposed to generate compassion to someone, then um, it's at least for your own benefit, and the benefit of course, how much the impact of compassion going to receive by the other. That very much depend on the criteria, the meritorious criteria that other has. But at least for your own full benefit, you should generate full compassion. Doesn't matter whether other person has the criteria or not, whether someone imposing you to generate the compassion or not. We have to have that understanding, that wisdom, that compassion carry only benefits, whether people appreciate or not, whether people have the meritorious base to receive the compassion or not. But it is my responsibility as someone who value the compassion, then should generate wholeheartedly, and that carry only the benefit. There's no harm, you see. Even to the harm givers, without any reservation, we should generate compassion, and maybe even more. Especially when talk about compassion, not like other virtues. Compassion especially works for someone, in fact, who is lacking of merits. Someone who is in trouble, someone who is a troublemaker. They need more compassion than those who are already doing good, those who are already virtuous.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Geshe.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Thank you. Thank you for your talk on the inner guru. Actually, I've been struggling with it as a lay person. Some years back, I had asked this question to another teacher, whether to trust my inner guru. So, just over the years, I've attended multiple retreats, and, I've my root teaching continues to be the Goenka tradition, but I've attended a lot of Mahayana teachings and, on bodhicitta and wisdom of emptiness. But, sometimes I feel I don't have a physical guru, so sometimes I feel that, you of course correctly said that, I do my self-judging and assessment depending on, how I, respond to experiences in life. Is there more compassion in me? Is there, whenever emotions are arising, is there awareness, and do I respond skillfully? So all these are my self-judging of my own progress in the path. But, sometimes I have doubts that because I don't have a physical guru, I do my own study and contemplation. So, if, some of my friends who do they have these pointers coming from the guru. So like you correctly said, asking the guru, saying, what progress am I, doing on the path? But I'm, sometimes confused and lost that do I still continue to trust my inner guru and walk the path, or do I need to search? Or if I'm ready, the teacher shall arrive. So should I trust that process?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I think our ultimate teacher, guru, is the Dharma teaching.
Right.
An example, if you are following, in Tibetan Buddhism, there's a few traditions like Nyingma, Kagyu, Satya, Gelug. So in the Gelug tradition, you can say our main guru is the Lamrim teaching. I think for spiritual, questions, there's not one question that which I think that cannot be answered by Lamrim when you open the Lamrim book. So, so even when we relate to a person, human guru, for a spiritual student, for spiritual purpose, the relationship is all about spirituality. It's about the path, and the question also actually should be about the path, and the answer also, the guru. I think there's no separate answer than what the Lamrim teaching have taught. So the Lamrim teaching is you can say concise yet complete, very easy to understand the teachings of the entire 84,000 teachings. So 84,000 teachings is the answer to 84,000 questions. Buddha's 84,000 teaching is answer to 84,000 questions, 84,000 inconvenience, that we have, that we are searching for the answer. But then again, 84,000 teaching, the 100 over volume is huge. So when we refer to Lamrim, even you take the Greater Lamrim, in English translation, it's just a 3 volume, and it's quite, not that much. And then again, Lama Tsongkhapa, provided many different levels, the middle length Lamrim, the small Lamrim, the shortest Lamrim in just about 1 page. In fact, we can even memorize that, and not even need a book. So yeah, that's one thing. And until we, but then again, in this precious human rebirth, there are a path that we need to engage by opening the door to it by the realize or the teachers who have lineage, like such as initiations, transmissions, like oral transmissions, even the commentary, not just kind of giving a reading lessons like what we do in the school, but that reading lesson also has to have a transmission that can trace all the way up to Buddha, lineage by lineage. So such lineage holder in the form of human guru form is also necessary. Is also necessary, and but in order to establish that relationship, like guru-disciple relationship, we need to equip basic, students' quality, and also the basic qualities of the guru, because when the two human being comes in contact, the relationship should be established virtually, beneficially, especially to do with the spiritual relationship. So the only way to validate that is, through the qualities that the student carries and the teacher carries. And the student's quality, the minimum, the quality, having the heart of non-partisan, very much meaning that your objective is your objective to find the guru, have the guru, relate to the guru is solely for the purpose of liberation and enlightenment. So that's the meaning of non-partisan, nothing for worldly purpose. So this is talking about for those who are genuine spiritual seeker, Then the second one is the basic wisdom, that we also need to have a basic wisdom to differentiate what is beneficial for the spiritual development and what is harmful for the spiritual development, so that when we relate to the guru, the human guru, because from the guru side, you never know, maybe he is really enlightened one, or maybe he is not enlightened, but a great scholar, or great, high realized, but not of enlightenment. So human errors may be possible, you see. So therefore, anything that is non-virtuous, or anything that is obstacle to the path to liberation and enlightenment, then one should know how to reject that, how to reject that. So therefore, need to have a basic wisdom of discrimination. What is good, what is to be adopted, what is to be abandoned. Then the third one is the diligent, not even after you find the human guru, not like completely like giving full responsibility to the guru. You have to take your own responsibility. You have to practice. You have to do the homework. The diligent. So then, and when it comes to the guru, minimum. I mean, even though there are about 10 gurus qualities, but minimum 5 or 3 or minimum 3. So ethical, someone is moral ethic. So means when you look for a guru, you look for a guru that who has as high moral ethic as possible. So in Buddhist teaching, how to know that is someone that how many vows that they uphold. So like a refuge vow, 5 lay vows, novice vows, bodhisattva vows, fully ordination vows, tantric vows. So there's so many precepts. So the more the precept that someone is practicing is we can determine as someone is more moral ethical. Then someone has to be compassionate. So if the teacher don't have compassion to the student, the student won't be able to receive benefits. So someone is like compassionate, and someone that who is also selfless. Someone who concern others' well-being more than yourself, who is who have less grasping about worldly concerns. So in another word, it's like someone who has a good practice of 3 higher trainings. You can say like that. So yes, it is important to have a human guru. But at the same time, until you find that, we also cannot feel that I am kind of I have no guru. Our ultimate root guru is Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha is always there, and one of the main purpose of the having guru is to have an inspiration in your life. To have an inspirational living figure, like for us, like His Holiness Dalai Lama. And Shakyamuni Buddha, of course, physically right now is not among us, but he have lived physically in the world. And through his legacies, through his story, everything is so inspirational. So Shakyamuni Buddha is always our guru. Then like Lama Tsongkhapa, like then His Holiness, is always our guru. But then if you with the basis of all those resources that I mentioned, and when you have someone physical guru comes in your way, and that's very meritorious, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Also, Venerable, you have to let me know when to stop. Yeah.
It's not time yet, Geshe-la.
Okay. So
Never.
please let me.
Never, Geshe-la.
I'm going to keep you beyond midnight.
That is perfectly fine, Geshe-la. Please do.
Yeah. Okay, please.
Thank you, Geshe-la, for the talk.
Thank you.
Geshe-la talked about this inner guru and how this inner guru should become our guide and thoughts in terms of our day-to-day life decisions and dharma decisions and our path. But often the question that I ask myself, because I've heard so many teachers talk about getting in touch with the inner guru, is how do we get in touch with this inner guru? And once we get in touch with it, how do we sort of stay in touch with it and not lose it? If you can just throw some light on that.
So inner guru, relation to inner guru is also we call as a guru yoga practice, and as to keep intact that guru disciple relationship, with the inner guru. Initially, minimum, I think 6 times to remind, like in a 6 session guru yoga. So actually, practice of 6 session guru yogas are very much to develop inner guru. Even though we visualize the outer physical guru there, but the whole purpose is to arrive to inner guru. So at least, minimum 6 times in the day, 3 times in the day, 3 times in the night, like that, to remind. Then gradually it come to a, almost become like your motivation to all your major activities. Like when you take a move, like walking, whenever you eat, whenever you go to bed, whenever you settle or rest, we call dochanyan tuk joba. All those major activities should be initiated by your inner wisdom, which is your inner guru. It's very much mindful in wisdom and altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude. Initiate your sitting, your eating, your rest of the movements, rest of the major activities, including sleeping, like that. Then gradually it become like spontaneous. Very much one portion of awareness is always there, accompanied with the rest of the awareness. Whenever we see objects, whenever we hear sounds, whenever we think, one portion, which is also the initial or the immediate accompanied with the first moment of the perception, engaging with this object, is your inner wisdom and your inner artistic attitude accompanied, and that is like your inner guru is accompanied. So then another way is always have this awareness of I'm oneness with the guru. I'm inseparable from guru, deity, Buddha, like that. So that way, that also initially has to train, at least remind, 6 times a day. So this is like quite common recommendation from all the scriptures, both the sutra and tantra. Then, so eventually it come to a stage that whenever you think of yourself, you arise in your guru. Whenever you think of your guru, you see that in you, or that is you. You see. So in that realization, when you speak, you speak the way how your guru would speak. You think the way how your guru would think. So it is the most powerful antidote to the world, to the samsara, to the negativities. It is most powerful protection to our mind, protection to our body, speech, and mind. With that, our mind will never behave wrongly. Our actions will never be hurtful, harmful to others. Our speech will never give harm, harsh words, etc. to others. You see, then karmically, one will never accumulate negative karma. So it requires diligent training in mindfulness in this practice. Then eventually it becomes spontaneous. Something like that.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Geshe-la, related to this, another question, if I may ask.
Sure.
So when one gets in touch with this inner guru and their day-to-day activities are driven through this inner guru, right? Do we get a sense that there's inner guru which is sort of me, and then it clashes with this, self grasping, ignorance sort of attitude, wherein there is an I which is a guru which is inside me, and then this collision happens of having this sense of I and this inner guru. How do we sort of deal with that situation?
Yeah, so initially, yes, there's a danger of mixing that divine pride or that confident and egocentric mind, So whenever there's ego arises, whenever there's an element of delusion arises, then we have to understand that your practice is, has a leakage, has a stain, and you need to pause and contemplate the qualities of the practice. So this is needed at the initial stage. And one of the most obvious example that one should spot onto your 3 doors is the more intact practice of Guru Yoga happens, the more humble you become. The speech, the thinking, the actions become more gentle, more humble, and it carry full of respect, full of seeing values in others. Very much. When you have intake of this Guru Yoga, you see Guru in everybody. You see deity, you see value of Buddha in everybody. And you see Guru celestial, deity celestial, Buddha celestial everywhere you go. So very much, you start to lose all the complaints, from your system. Like you become complaint-less. Everything is okay, So especially in India, very good. We do like this. Okay, So you will really mean from your heart. Is even give you a very awful vada pav. If someone give you a very awful vada pav, isn't it? Vada pav is very famous in India, isn't it? Or maybe in Mumbai, I don't know. Or pani puri. Then it's okay. You mean it, not just hand like that, but you mean it. Someone give you the best, the supreme, blissful pani puri. You say, oh yes, this is absolutely beautiful. Yes. It's almost like equal respect to the both good and bad. And that relate to the place that where you arrive, the people you come encounter, the situation that comes in your way, good or bad. It's like completely filled with positivity, and that's what we see in our living gurus, like that we see in His Holiness, so obvious. And then we see in Geshe Lama Subrahmachari, like so obvious, and all the other your gurus, you see that, so yeah, then then another important is the more the intake of such practice, there's no room for delusion to intervene. So whenever you see your speech is becoming bit louder or bit harsh, and then you see your practice is losing your practice. Whenever the self-importance comes more than the importance of others, and then you immediately detect that your practice is losing. Whenever physically you just become bit what do you call bit violent or whatever, bit harsh, I don't know, then you can understand. So you see, physically it's like as gentle as Arhat. Not easy, but as gentle as Arhat, then our speech is like whatever we say or don't say, there's melodious, like always there's a mantra vibrance coming out from you, that kind of energy. Then mentally it's like completely, in settled in the inner peace, that calmness, that gentleness, and that is the actual value of the Guru. the actual quality of the guru, and that is the actual quality of your inner being, and that is your inner guru. You see, so whenever we start to behave very worldly way, untamed way, like worldly way meaning worldly concerns, and just speak, meaningless, senseless, or worse than that, harsh speech. And physically is kind of like there's no sense of peacefulness. So that's not that is our old quality, all times quality. The new of your the inner guru arriving quality is that mentioned that early one. So something like that. So we have to do the training daily, and we have to do the training daily, as many rounds as possible. Then one will arrive, to a stage that it becomes spontaneous, And when you arrive there, truly nothing can disturb you, nothing can harm you. You really arrive to a indestructible kind of like a blissful state, So something like that, I think. Yeah. Any questions?
Geshe,
Yeah.
if I may.
Sure, please.
Ashidale Geshe, wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
Quick question from me, Geshe. So in Buddhism, in Dharma studies, we understand that reincarnation is a reincarnation of a continuum of consciousness as opposed to a soul. Could you describe this difference a little bit further, and how should this difference impact our practice?
Okay, so in Buddhism, terminologically, does not assert soul. But then, if you think carefully, what really the soul meaning, is from other religious point of view, is more like kind of like the force of continuum, force or the basis of the potential of the continuum. Like I sometimes understand something like that. Then there is a basis where the existence or the life continues. The living, or you can say the life continues. Yes, reincarnation is reincarnation. So I think there's two different levels. In a more kind of like a gross level, then the reincarnations are very much defined. The taking a new, the continuum taking a new form, a new existing in one of the 6 realms, or beyond, like beyond, like such as in the pure realms, or getting liberated, or actualize enlightenment, then more subtle level, the reincarnation happens within every 2 moments of existence. Every moment of our life is the reincarnation of the previous moment. Every moment of present existence is the reincarnation of previous moment. The previous moment, the previous continuum is ceased in the present time. Then the continuum of the previous one, actualize or arrive into the present, present life or the present aggregates. When we examine that, on the basis of impermanent nature, every single moment, the life force that aggregates the life, evolve, changes, including physical body, mental body, every single moment, discard the old and arrive or reborn into new. And that is also reincarnation. So every next moment we are reborn. Every next moment is the reincarnation of the previous moment of that continuum. So the primary consciousness, so that is the that which is also carries the subtle aggregates, subtle five aggregates, which serve as the basis to actualize the full form of next reincarnation. And if you are being born into a formless realm, then of course there's no gross form. When you actualize formless realm being, then there's a mental aggregates, but there's no form aggregates. But the potential of all the five aggregates is still there. Because of that, then the full reincarnation in that realm is possible. The reason is that when someone reborn from formless to the form realm, or someone reborn from formless to the desire realm, like a human realm, the reincarnation will actualize the complete five aggregates, including form aggregates, isn't it? So without the potential that exists in the before, the previous continuum, is one possible to actualize the result in the form body. So that's what I'm saying. There's it could be a subject to be debated, but what I understand, logically, then the subtle five aggregates are the one that which actually, the potential that continues life after life. Then whatever the circumstances of the karma ripen, then accordingly, your rebirth, actualize, build on the basis of on the foundation of the five aggregates. So that potential, maybe for some other religion, maybe they regard as a soul, but in Buddhism, it's just the potential of the continuum. We don't really use the term soul like that. Yeah. Thank you. Any question? If no question, we can stop anytime. Maybe all question finish, yeah?
Yes, Geshe-la. For time being, Geshe-la.
Okay. So, yeah, I think, Venerable, you have a question?
Sorry, I didn't find the hand button. I have a question. I was reading a book, and it was about the ego, and how the ego, a balanced ego, could help to have to set some boundaries in daily life and everything. And yes, so it was about the ego basically. But in another book, I read that as long as we are carrying some kind of idea of mind, I, and everything, we want to achieve enlightenment. So I was just wondering about what to do with the ego, because there is this idea of balance ego help, in a daily life to balance some boundaries and everything. And thank you, Geshe.
Thank you. Ego that is self-centeredness, then is a negative to be eliminated, to avoid. Ego that in the form of a divine, and then it is to be practiced. It's okay. It's beneficial. Or ego that is as confident to deliver the deeds of compassion, deeds of altruism, beneficial. It's good to have, So that ego is very much like a confident, which is needed. It's very much like attachment. Attachment, desirous attachment is harmful, but inspiration, the attachment is form of inspiration is beneficial. So attachment, attaching to something, or desiring something, which is result, and which is the tool, which is the act, is beneficial to develop wisdom and method. Then it is beneficial, and it can adopt. But then when we give the title, the word desirous attachment, usually is referring to delusional attachment. It has the element of ignorance. It has the element of negative element to the act, and negative element to the result. So that is a desirous attachment, so which is wrong. So similarly, ego also, there's a called divine ego or divine pride. Not really called ego, but divine pride. And then there's a pride that which is very much developed on the self-centeredness. The pride that which developed with full of attachment. Egoistic, self-centered, worldly concerns. So those are negative. So need to differentiate. That's the way how to balance. And there are some certain practice initially initiated by, like such as so-called ego, such as so-called attachment, such as so-called wrathfulness. But these are very much, especially the ego and aversion, very much you have a tool in tantric practice, especially in high school tantric practice. Initially you use the ordinary egoic mind, ordinary, aversion, the wrathful attitude. Then that fuel the energy, and eventually, it develop into a divine kind of pride. The divine, the deity's lawful actions. So there's such possible. But in our ordinary or the common part, there's no usage of ego as a part. There's no usage of aversion as a part. But then the attachment, but attachment, there is a tool that you can use, in ordinary path, but someone need to have all the conducive, the environment and conducive, skills to be able to transform, the attachment as an inspiration, attachment as a path. But otherwise, the attachment can lead to a disaster. So there's so for very beginner, like me, then better don't play with the fire. I will get burned. Like beginner like me, I better don't play with attachment, don't play with aversion, don't play with the ego. I won't able to transform or balance them. Better follow the by virtuous path, that which by nature is virtue. Like attachment by nature is not virtue. Aversion by nature is not virtue. Ego is, or pride is by nature is not virtue. So better to train, exercise ourselves like love, compassion, inspiration, wisdom. That's still safer. So when we arrive in a certain level of spiritual steadiness, then maybe there's a then when you're confident enough, the preparatory practices are intact, then we can utilize attachment onto a path, aversion onto a path, ego onto a path, something like that. Okay, so thank you very much, and so without any doubt that all of us from this session, accumulate a lot of positive energy, merits, possibilities, which are great resources to the world for the peace and happiness. And especially we get together with, the heart of compassion, altruistic motivation, dharma motivation, any form of virtuous motivation. From that angle, without any doubt, we accumulate so much merit. Then, thirdly, we actualize this event during the Buddha's miracle month, especially within this first 15 days, by the power of the object, the Buddha's aspiration, choosing this particular month, this particular days. The days are blessed. Whenever we perform any form of virtue, it multiplies 100 million times. And not only that, on the basis of faith and devotion and reliance to the Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching around the world, so many people accumulating extensive merits, especially, maybe in Tibet, I don't know, but especially, yes, in Nepal, in India, in great monasteries, there's a Molam festival, the great prayer festivals are happening, and that is established by Lama Tsongkhapa to make a full meaning of this, these very blessed days. So much meritorious environments are created out there, and some more. Tushita Meditation Center, led by Venerable Kumpenla, really, to this 15 days, every single moment, meritorious environment for all of us to come together, accumulate merit, and in particularly in relation to, honor our most precious Guru, Jabja Lama Supa Rinpoche, and dedicating this, events for his, enlightened beings, emanations into human form to arrive swiftly. So from that point of view, it become a Guru Yoga practice. So again, Guru Yoga practice is the one of the fastest exercise to drive huge amount of merit, huge amount of purification. Is one of the essence of the path. So from that point of view, unbelievable merits that we accumulate. So all this collective merit of ours from this session, all the merit that we accumulate in the past, they're going to accumulate in the future, all the merits of the past, present, future Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, deities, gurus, Dakas, Dakinis, Dhammapalas, and sentient beings. May this collective merit become the cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering. It is causes the karma and delusion actualized from temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness and enlightenment accordingly. So please do dedicate like that. And also, may this collective merit be complete cause. Whatever inconvenience that happening in the war, and natural disasters, different form of diseases, there's so many inconvenience in a global level, individual level, emotional challenges, physical challenges, environmental challenges. May our collective merit be complete cause to pacify them without delay in a moment and actualize peaceful world and peaceful, virtuous, happy living being. And may this collective merit be complete cause. Anyone who passed away, especially in last 49 days, and also those who pass away in a war zone, in natural disaster, in accident, who pass away experiencing untimely death, or who pass away with severe physical pain or severe mental confusions. May they be free from suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize higher rebirth in the precious human realm or in a pure land, and within that very lifetime, actualize state of full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. Anyone who requested, prayers from our gurus, requested prayers from me, requested prayers from you, requested prayers from monasteries, nunneries, or you are praying right now to anyone, could be animals, spirits, living beings, or especially, in our day-to-day, we see people who are suffering at the roadside, or animals that were suffering. Whoever, we think that they are in a destitute position, and we dedicate this, our collective merit, for them to be free from all the inconvenience and fulfill all their aspirations and actualize peace and happiness and enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the beneficial being in this world, like such as His Holiness Dalai Lama, all the gurus, and all the anybody in the world that who are reason or who are the cause and condition for peace and happiness to the world, or to their family, or to their partner, to their children, to their parents. Such like yourself, your family members, who are virtuous, who are reason for so many others, at least the family members, peace and happiness. So may each and every one of such beings, enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all their aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the virtuous institutions, monasteries, nunneries, all the Dharma centers, and especially Tushita Meditation Center in Dharamsala, who organized this session, be free from all the inner outer secret obstacles, actualize all the conducive conditions for the preservation of Dharma, both in extensive learning and realization on the stages of the path, and able to do a lot of compassion in action, relieving sufferings of people, animals, and fulfilling, our precious gurus like Lama Yeshe, Gyaltsab Lama Subramji, His Holiness, and all the other gurus' aspirations for the center, for the preservation of Dharma and for the benefit of sentient being accordingly. Then may this collective merit be complete course. May each and every one of us, able to live the rest of our life with full of meaning, just like our precious gurus in Buddhist way of life accordingly. Jawade Nyodo Dalama Sanje Dubyon Doa Jama Levade Zala Gurubara Jo Chanjo Senjo Rimboche Majepanam Jeju Javanya Bamebaya Gonde Gondo Bewash Tony Dawa Rimboche Majepanam Jeju Javanya Bamebaya Gonde Gondo Bewara Jo Dawa Rimboche Majepanam Jeju Javanya Bamebaya Gonde Gondo Bewasho Carrera Gove Shingum Dependant de Wama Jo and Cheres what they Jato Yeshabes de Bado Dangerous. Jawa Gundo Yanda Lama da Dame Jin Bella Longe, Sada Lam Ye and Ramzone. Doje Changi Gomba Nyo Jo Pamasim Je Tamje and Danger Jim and Tamje Tato, Wata Chanju Sembaga Nazu Joba. The Dajun Molan Doje, Simja Neba Jinya Banyo Donele Taju and then Manu Bata Dojo Mebajo. Jambe Bawa Jita Mada Gundo Zambo de and Dejin the Dagonji so Dalo Jawan de Damje Rabdo so Jebe Jawa Damje the Moga Chuduma Dajen Kawa Vedanzova Mikabe Ishino Pasam Semjera Wabunde Samba Jin Dube Daji Jo Tembaji Tengam Jumada Temba Nivation to Sawai Tenze Pollution to Temba Temba Urene Betaji Show Nimodele Sendele Nimegoyan Delejin in the Dado Dele Unjo Sumjeta Show. Thank you very much, Venerable Kunpela, and everyone at Tushita Center, and every one of you for your precious time for this session. Thank you, and please take care of each other, and hope to see you all in person soon somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la, for Geshe-la's precious teachings, for Geshe-la's advice, for Geshe-la's blessings. Please, Geshe-la, come back very soon, Geshe-la. Please.
Thank you. Sure.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good day. Night.